think Shah Rukh is one of the wittiest, warmest, and gentlemanly co-actors to work with. Even Kuch Kuch Hota Hai, Karan still sunaus me. You didn't do my first film. Seriously, Salman Khan, please यार तू ये फिल्म को मना मत कर, हम लोग के लिए कर ले. We'll just sit on your shooting, be with you, and then after that you leave movies again. अरे ये आपकी उम्र नहीं है ड्रेस पहनने की अभी. जो भी होगा लेकिन मेरा कपड़ा नहीं फटेगा. Men used to actually have fist fights in those days. So what would you call them? Why do you call us cats? What would you call the men?
Dog fights.
Single moms couldn't adopt. And so as legal guardian, it was me and my mum who signed up. I mean, that was my first ever award and will always remain the most precious. Thank you, Filmfare.
Hi, welcome to In the Ring with Filmfare. I'm in conversation with someone who I have known ever since I started my career. We've had lots of ups, lots of downs, and the funniest, not funny exactly, one of the most memorable moments was our outdoor stints that we had, right from Gharwali, Baharwali, Andaz Apna, lots of films. And I think what really bonded us together was a photo shoot with Ricky Martin and our subsequent going for his show. More than that, Raveena Tandon has been an actor to reckon with. I mean, her performances in Arcs, her performances in Satta, her performances in several OTT series, especially Aranyak, have really cut a new sword in terms of performances, and also she's been there at it for the last 30 years. So welcome my latest guest, Raveena Tandon. Hello.
And cheers to that.
Cheers to that. So, you were one of the first girls I met as a rookie reporter, all of 19. And the first thing I noticed that you didn't have a mummy ji on the set. I mean, while you came from a film family, you were one of the few heroines. In fact, I think a lot of heroines then were chaperoned by their mothers and this. And now the tables have turned. You are a mother to a budding heroine. So, do you feel protective? Do you feel like she should make her mistakes? Your daughter Rasha is making a debut very soon.
So, honestly, I came from a background that was, yes, film oriented, but not that we had ever thought that I would get into the movies. Hence, I was already working with Prahlad Kakkar. I had already done a couple of modeling stints, and I was working as an assistant to him at a advertising agency or a production company. And that's where my aim was. I really never thought that I would be in front of the camera. I come from a co-ed college. I come from a co-ed school, Jamna Bai Narsi and Mitibai College, where some of my best friends were boys. And even though, like I said, we were from a film family, my father was in the movies, but my grandfather was a high court judge. My bua was a doctor. My Tayajis, that is your father's elder brother, they were law attorneys, they were prosecutors. So it was a very different background for me growing up. And my mother's side, my grandfather was in the army. So I had a lot of that upbringing more than a filmy upbringing also, so to speak. Yes, we had film stars coming to our homes. Yes, we had dinners and parties and entertaining, a lot of entertaining that my mom did. But I don't think my dad ever let us get influenced in the cliched filmy sort of way that people perceive.
No, I met your parents.
All
They're
film
most
kids.
non-filmy.
Yes, so that filmy perception that is there, that people perceive that, oh, they're always, partying and, everything is so glamorous and la-di-da. It's not like that. We're very normal homes, normal families, great education. And I think that's where we, kind of strike the balance. And hence the thing of my mom not coming on my sets. She had the confidence and trust in me. And she knew probably that I can handle myself in situations, which I'm still doing. Also, the fact that I had, like I said, I was a production assistant. pre-production and post-production assistant. So I was anyway traveling in trains, going for my shoots, traveling with cabs, taking buses for my tuitions because I was studying as well along with. Even when I did Pathar Ke Phool, I in fact gave my FIJC exam at that time while shooting for Pathar Ke Phool. So I had been shooting, studying, and kind of, used to public travel and stuff. So not really, out of the woods kind of a little babe out there in the woods, lost in the woods kind of a scenario for that kind of protection to happen. And I think that kind of became a norm. That's why if you see all the heroes, even till date, say Ravina's a buddy. So I think because of the fact that I've always had boys who are friends of mine, and till date, some of my best friends are boys. I've always had that easy rapport with a lot of my co-stars. And yeah, and hence the same with Rasha. Today she chooses her career, she chooses her profession. I believe that as parents we need to let our children live their dreams, and we shouldn't be the ones pursuing our dreams through them. It's their life, their decision. We'll always be there to guide them right or wrong. And yes, sometimes we spoil them by protecting them because we don't want them to fall. But sometimes you've got to let them fall, get wounded, and then realize what life is all by their own mistakes as well. Because I believe life is the greatest teacher, and that's what makes you what you are.
she might be very
That's what molds you as a person.
She must be very protected, though. I mean, she's grown up in an environment of privilege and completely. So, suddenly, did you sort of prepare her? Say, listen, there's going to be enough heartbreak on the way. Listen, picture chalegi, nahi chalegi. You may get
Yes,
trolled.
definitely we
Y'all
talk.
didn't, in your times, like for example, you didn't have social media. You had the most.
Oh, but we had the
nastiest
worst,
journey.
nastiest headlines. I think
Yeah.
that was worse because over here, at least, I think social media is a boon because today, immediately facts are out in public. As my recent example, facts are out there for people to see. You have enough proof. But in those days, once allegations were made, you could do anything under the sun, but you could not get your version out because it was completely in the hands of the editors or the newspaper journalists, whether they wanted to print your version or not. And there was no way out for you to reach out to the Aam Janta to say, hello, this is what really happened, you know. But today, I believe, yes, it's a bane as well with all the nasty trolling because there's so many people out there. मैं तो बोलती हूँ ना, कभी कभी ऐसा है, हंसने वाली बात है, इट्स अ जोक पीपल, बट लिटरली जैसे बंदर के हाथ में तलवार दे दियो. कभी कभी ये भी होता है. But nonetheless, like I say, it's a boon also if used wisely and used well. Technology is always there for advancement. But yes, it has its drawbacks as
So,
well.
how have you prepared your daughter for the setbacks and highs?
Can I tell you something? I think she's more my mother these days than I am hers, to be very honest. And I think when I look at her and I look at her and I say, Cookie, how did you become so mature and how are you so wise? So then I look at myself and I say, great job, girl.
Do you think the journalism there was more judgmental and scathing? I remember stuff like, you were, when you first came, I remember a lot of people said you were jinxed, or they called you Thunder Thighs. I remember
I
this
had
very
a lot
clearly.
of titles. I had Miss Arrogance because they
No,
were.
no, you were never arrogant.
Oh yes, I can name the magazine which called me Miss High and Mighty and Miss Arrogant because some of the heroes or some of the directors or some of the people, complained about what I had my do's and don'ts, right from the
Correct.
beginning. I've never kissed on screen. I was not comfortable wearing swimming costumes or bikinis and prancing around. There were things which I had rules for myself. And I was very easy that, yes, if I'm doing a film and if they agree that, this is not how. I think I was the only one who probably did rape scenes without even getting one tear on my clothes. There were no tears. I was like, मेरा कपड़ा नहीं फटेगा, जो भी होगा लेकिन मेरा कपड़ा नहीं फटेगा. So I used to be like that. मुझे साइन करना है आप करो, मैं आपके पास नहीं आई हूँ मुझे साइन करने. But I will live my life with my rules and where I'm comfortable doing what I want to do. And I think that's the impression that people got. Oh, she's little nose in the air. Or it was not that. I had made rules for myself. If I'm not comfortable doing anything, no one can force you to do it. Right? You don't want to sign me, don't sign me. Sign someone who'll do it.
No, I
I'm
remember.
happy in my house.
I remember Dar was one of the films you had to
Yeah,
say no to.
unfortunately, yeah. Sometimes I think, oh God, why? You know, there's so many regrets you have. Like, I had my reasons for everything. Like, even Kuch Kuch Hota Hai, Karan still sunaus me. You didn't do my first film. I was like, Karan, because at that time I was trying to re-establish myself. I couldn't have played second lead to Kajol. I was very clear about it, and I'm not ashamed of it. I had given up my career for personal reasons, and then I realized I have to get back into the fray, and I couldn't have gone back with someone whom I had started off with on an equal footing with Mora and whatever, and then do a second lead. So that was my only thing with that. Though I would have loved to do that. Every time that song plays, and I tell Rasha, I said, Rasha, you know, can you imagine this song could have been mine? She's like, Mama, why didn't you do it? I said, I had my reasons. I was like, so then there are all these songs which also I said no to, which today I believe would have been also there in my
Even Sheher Ki
other
Ladki
super hit
happened
songs.
very. They tried a lot to convince you. I don't think you were convinced about doing.
Sher Ki Ladki happened at a time where like I said, I was trying to re-establish myself, and the producer was a friend. Sunil Shetty is a friend, and they were in trouble with their film. They were not being able to complete it. They had this song, and so they requested me, and I did that completely FOC out of goodwill. But the kind of, I believe in karma, but the kind of great reviews that that song got me, and just put me out there, with suddenly, you know, Manish had done my clothes with the kind of clothes Manish did for me and the looks we tried and experimented with, that it was, oh my God, she's back. And that's when I remember the producer came with a huge check, you know, to give me and said, here, you know, this is thank you for the song. And I said, I don't want that money. And you ask him till date, I did not take that money from him. I said the goodwill, I did it on a goodwill, and the goodwill that I've got with this song, no amount of money that you'll give me will kind of replace that.
You know, it's also interesting.
And returning money is a very big thing. Just let me write it down. Please, when you say no, it needs
Shows
that
a lot
courage.
of grace. Your first Filmfare debut award. At that point, there were a lot of girls in contention. There was Karishma, there was Manisha Koirala, and a couple of. I think that year, some 60 or 70.
52.
Uh,
Omar had done the count. Omar
Huh.
Qureshi.
So-
Omar used to say, Raveena, there were 52 girls at that time.
So, over these 52 girls, what was that? You want to recall that moment?
I definitely would like to recall that moment because I wasn't present there. In fact, my uncle came up and received the award because I never thought I'll get it. A. B. I was shooting for Andaz. Andaz Apna Apna. And I remember Rauf Ahmed was the editor, and he said, Raveena, and he called me Nooty and Southern Star we were staying, and he said, you have to come, please come. And I remember Amir was also there, and he wanted Amir to come as well. Now, me being a newbie, completely fresh newcomer, already going through this thing of, oh my God, she has her rules and this and that, कि ऐसे नहीं छूने का, ऐसा kissing नहीं करने का, ये नहीं करने का, वो नहीं करने का. So it was something that was, for me, I couldn't have taken those 2 days off because there were no direct flights. I would have had to travel 6 hours to Bangalore, then take the flight from Coimbatore or from Bangalore to Mumbai. Coimbatore was not there then. To Mumbai, then attend the function, then so 2 days of the producer and the entire unit would have gotten lost. So I didn't have the guts only to ask my producer and Rajkumar Santoshi that please let me go for 2 days. Because I was not sure that I'm going to win the award. And that was it. So it came as a surprise when we got a call at 12:30 in the night when my uncle came home and that time trunk calls were there. He trunk dialed us and he said, you won the Filmfare and I collected. I said, oh my God. And mom said, Arey, we should have gone. I said, but Mama, as in my mom and I knew that we couldn't have gone because, you're a newcomer, then you take 2 days off. The unit will lose money because the producer will lose money. 2 days if you just taken off. So that was sometimes a sacrifice that you have to make. But those are momentous. That was my first ever award and will always remain the most precious. Thank you, Filmfare. Saying it today, and thank you, Rauf. Unfortunately, he's not there anymore, but he was a sweetheart.
The 90s was also, we thrived on it because obviously we hung out at your studios and your makeup rooms and all of that. Was renowned for catfights. I mean, it was all very silly now when you look back in this thing. But you were also involved in a part of. So that's my first question. The second question was, uh, like right now, I mean, as a Bollywood archivist, I find the scenario has changed. It's very political. Was it political in the 90s that, have you lost films because a hero favored another actor?
Yes, of course that happened. And I think sometimes that happens now. Even now, when I read a Priyanka's interview or someone's interview, I find the stories pretty similar. But yes, of course that did happen. Like I said, Jitesh, I was never insecure about myself. And for me, the way I signed Patthar Ke Phool also was like, देखते हैं निकल पड़ती है तो निकल पड़ती है, नहीं हुआ तो नहीं हुआ, because my friends wanted to meet Salman Khan. I signed Patthar Ke Phool. It was very plain and simple. I was in the college canteen, my FIJC, and I had already said no to 5-6 films. And I was not sure if I wanted to do movies because I had no training. I never went for acting classes. I'd never dreamt I'll become an actress. It just kind of happened. It was destiny. It was meant to be. And when Patthar Ke Phool came, I was in the college canteen and I went like showing off, guess whom I got offered a movie with, and Maine Pyar Kiya had just released, and Salman was like the biggest rage,
Yeah.
and is still, touch wood, yeah, I mean, God bless him for that. But and my friend said, seriously, Salman Khan, please yaar, tu ye film ko mana mat kar, hum log ke liye kar le, we'll just sit on your shooting, be with you, and then after that you leave movies again. I said, okay, I'll do it, dekhte hain. And I signed Patthar Ke Phool. And while Patthar Ke Phool was in production, I signed 5-6 other films. And then there was no looking back. Then, of course, then you had to give it your all, because whatever I do, I try to give it my 100%. And I was never insecure about myself. So I never had jealousies. Till date, I can sleep with a clear conscience. Or if you've ever heard that I had anyone removed from any movie, I will change my name. Call me Champa Kali after that. I don't care. But the thing is, yeah, I love that name. I love Champa. I only use Champa perfume. So it's really that. I mean, it's always been like that, and I've always believed in a clear cut, honest dealing, and that's how I have always been. So if anyone who can stand up and say, "Oh, Ravina had me removed from this film," or "Ravina played these politics," I never did. Yes, I was at the receiving end, but then I believed in myself, and that was enough for me.
No, also it was interesting while these cat fights and all were going on. You also hung a lot. I remember there was this entire gang. I mean, I've been part of those gangs at one point. There was Manisha, there was Pooja, there was you, there was Atul.
All of us heroines were all very well, and till today we have those bonds. Today also I'm friends with Pooja. I'm still friends with. I haven't met Manisha in a long time, but I'm so happy for her for Hira Mandi. Then Juhi and me are constantly Instagramming each other, wishing each other. Shilpa and me are still together. Neenu and me are together. MD and me are always, just boosting each other up on our Instagram and rooting for each other. So we are all still very well connected, from that time to today. Aisha Julka I meet in Otters Club so many times. We sit and chat and hang. So it's that camaraderie that is still very much prevalent. But there are few, yes, insecure who were there, insecure then, insecure now, who've not been able to keep those bonds, but we still meet socially. But when you say cat fights, there were never really cat fights. I was in fact hearing someone's interview just now on the radio
Atish
where it meant
outdoor airport.
That was never a cat fight. I beg to differ. There was never a cat fight.
I buy that.
There might be a discussion. There might be a why are you doing this and what is the need to do this and let's bridge this gap. That was it. It was never a cat fight. There was never anyone. It was all hyped and of course mirch masala and everything and what you see. But that is what I say. In those days, there was no social media, no cameras, no nothing. You can't reach out and how much do you really clear?
Clarify.
Men used to actually have fist fights in those days. So what would you call them? Why do you call us cats? What would you call the men?
Dogs.
I'm putting you on the block right now. Come on, tell me.
Dog fights.
Men actually had fist fights in those days. We women didn't. Maximum we would have is a discussion that, listen, why are you doing this? What is wrong? Let's bridge the gap. Let's bury the hatchet. But some people didn't want to. So it became like a cat fight. There were no cat fights. Nothing. That was always overhyped and masala and something that then we learned to take in our stride. Ke theek hai. Public ko chahiye masala.
Correct.
जाने दो.
You weren't taken very seriously as an actor till, say, people saw Aks and Satta, and you did
Shool.
Shool.
Ghulam-e
Yeah, I think
Mustafa.
Shool really turned the tide for you. But before that, I want to ask you, are there any films that you refused because, I mean, not films like Dar and all those are different, but because you were principally against what, it was a weird script, or
Yes, of course. Like I said, that's why maybe that Miss High and Mighty thing came about because, for example, there was a movie, I will not take the names, but it was definitely with Shah Rukh, and I had almost signed it till the time came to discuss the costumes. And the costumes were really weird. I mean, that is not something I would be comfortable wearing. And I thought that was a little too objectifying. And I said, no, sorry, I cannot. And Shahrukh said, are you mad? Why are you saying no now? Because we already were doing a very, a film which had the most amazing music called Jadoo. And we were doing Zamana Divana, and we really used to get along. I think Shahrukh is one of the wittiest, warmest, and gentlemanly co-actors to work with. I mean, decent to the core. There's no two ways about that. And I was like, Shah, but I can't. And he tells people also, I'm the first person to give him this name, Shah. Sorry, it just came out again. And I said, Shah, I can't wear that stuff here. I just can't. I'll feel funny. I'll feel strange. If you see my clothes also throughout all these, it's always been very decent, what normal, regular wear kind of
I
things.
remember in Film City you had done this lovely sensual song in Zamana Divana.
With Shah, yeah. But that was also a sari, yeah. And so was Tip Tip Barsa Pani a sari. But that film was, the role was, yes, like that, but I could have still worn classier costumes. But I didn't find the costumes very classy. I found them very objectifying and very defining costumes of the anatomy. And so for me, it was something that was just not working. And I said no to some of these films. And that's why I think people used to think, Arey, what does she think of herself? But the thing was,
No, but
like
I
I
have to
said,
tell you guys, she was one of the nicest, graceful, most, and I'm not saying because she's here, but she was genuinely great. She was like a great fun to hang, especially we journalists just loved her because it was just so much fun and she was very graceful and all of that. And she didn't make us wait for the interviews. And let me tell you, she made much better copy off record than on record. On record, she gave us masala, but off record, she was even greater fun.
more entertaining.
Very entertaining.
Yeah, one thing that has always worked for me has been my punctuality.
Yeah.
See, if you said 12 o'clock, I was here 12:03.
Yeah.
It took me little time, not that 3 minutes,
No.
because your camera guys
No
were following
complaints,
me.
no complaints at all. No complaints at all. They called you prude, did this. Also,
Prudish,
like,
yes. They thought I was prudish
yeah.
when I would not agree to do these
Which
kind
also
of things.
extended, I think, to your private life. With the exception of one very high profile romance, there was absolutely no kachra, nobody said affair, she's having an affair with someone, there was
Yeah, if I
nobody
fell in love,
spoke loosely about
I
you.
fell in love. And I
Because
used to
those
say,
days
if I'm dating
magazine
someone,
headlines-
I'll say it.
Yeah.
There's nothing to hide because I know my college friends. My college friends were changing their boyfriends every 2 months. Like, oh no, I'm not seeing him now. I'm seeing someone else. I'm like, what? When did that happen? And here, galti se also, if you want to date someone, you can't. Why? Because you're an actress. So they'll have you married and 1 kid and 2 kids on the way also before you even said I do. So it was all over for us.
Guys, I must also tell you a very interesting story. She must have been 21, 22 when she adopted 2 girls, which was amazing. And that at that point, I think you couldn't legally. There was some confusion. I remember. Where she'll tell you the story. So anyway, to cut a very long story short, now those girls are married. They have children. But at 21, she did it much before a lot of other actors and a lot of other celebrities. She did it because it just seemed the right thing to do. So more power to you.
Yes, actually, it seemed absolutely the right thing to do because I had been working with my mum for a lot of NGOs and a lot of girl child at that time. And even now, probably, we have the issue with the girl child ratio. But it's more encouraging these days because even the adoptions have increased statistically more for the girl child. Not that we have any discrimination against a boy child, but unfortunately, there was the female infanticide. Then there was, cases that we heard that were really, really sad. And so my mom always did work for the, empowerment of girls and women, and for the girl child, and hence I followed suit. And I think that was imbibed in me through her. And nonetheless, when the opportunity came for me to do the right thing, I think I just stepped up. And I did not think of the repercussions that people forewarned me or said, Arey, what are you doing? Are you mad? It's baggage. Now who'll marry you because you come with baggage and stuff. And then, of course, walked in Mr. Thadani. But it was something always. It was an accepted thing, and society is not as bad as we make it out to be. Yes, there are a few naysayers, but overall, it was a lot of acceptance, even with probably the relationships that I had. Even I had, took them in as legal guardian, because at that time single moms could not adopt.
Yeah.
And
That was the catch. Single moms couldn't adopt.
yes, single moms couldn't adopt. And so, as legal guardian, it was me and my mom who signed up. And that was it. And today, I'm a proud mom of 4. And yes,
So
and two
technically, are you
more
a
of them is-
grandmother?
Yes, technically, I am.
Technically.
Yes. Yes. I'm glamma for them. They
Glamma.
call me glamma, because I'm so glamorous. So it's like glamma.
The heroines keep getting younger opposite the heroes, and the girls are put out to pasture, metaphorically speaking. Did you face any sort of ageism? I mean, OTT sort of, there has been a resurgence. There's you, there's Madhuri, there's Juhi, there's Tabu, there is Manisha Koirala, there's everybody doing great work. Not just work, great work. So, obviously, the tide has turned and now people are doing. But did you ever at any point lose out to somebody younger, or was there any kind of ageism in 2000s?
I did not face it, to be very honest. But yes, I've heard of instances, of course, that older heroes were working with much younger girls, half their age probably. But I think that has also changed. 5 years ago, I would probably say. 6 years ago, I would probably say. But now, I think even our heroes are becoming very conscious. And in fact, there's a lot for the younger lot that cannot now work with the older lot, because they feel, oh, she looks too young, or this one looks too young, or that one looks too young. So that is now the awareness that is there, which I think is fantastic. Age appropriate films are being made, roles are being given, for age appropriate people. Our heroes are not shying away from graying their hair. We aren't shying away from graying our hair. So it is. I think it's kind of got in a little bit of realism infused in our scripts as well, which is working out well for everybody. In fact, I'm working with a lot of heroes who are actually a little younger than me.
Aren't you romancing
I'm
a
not.
much younger boy in Karma Calling? No?
No.
Okay,
In
then
fact, my husband is my age group.
And you don't
in
have a...
Karma Calling, was I romancing anyone? I don't think so.
I think in Owner's film, there's a younger
Honest,
boy.
but the script was like that.
Yeah, correct.
I'm playing Cougar.
Yeah. Cougar.
Yeah.
Wow, lovely.
That was Honor's film. Yeah.
So, also with aging, is there like I always say, it's an Instagram generation.
I think more than that, it's the trolls that kind of, if you're wearing a dress or something, you're walking on the beach with a, shirt dress or something. It's the trolls that say, "अरे ये आपकी उम्र नहीं है ड्रेस पहनने की अभी." तो मैं कहा भाई तूने थोड़ी पैसे दिए खरीदने के लिए मैंने खुद कमाए हुए पैसे से मैं पहनूंगी जो मुझे पहनना है तेरा क्या तू घर पे पहन तू अपना देखो जो पहनना है तू पहन
Because it's also a very Instagram curated generation, and you're constantly, your managers are telling you to do something, your PRs are telling you. Is there
it's a headache.
Is there
It's a headache to be relevant on social media, please.
Yeah.
Can we go back to the world when it was not so much pressure?
So is there also pressure to surgically enhance yourself? Botox, fillers, so I have heard people going through all kinds of surgeries and look strange on screen these days. So
Do I look strange?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. But Was there any kind of pressure on you
I'm
from your
purposely doing this to my
producers?
forehead so that you can see my face is not frozen. Please focus. No frozen
but,
face.
But was there any kind of pressure on you
No,
to?
see, there's no pressure, but yes, there's no harm in looking good. And yes, there has been an advancement in science where everyone's looking for the fountain of youth, but that's not really available. My skin, genetically, I've been blessed. Thank you, Pops. He was glowing like a light bulb till the last day that he went. But uh, I think it is something for all for all to use. For example, I see young kids who have acne nowadays. There's a new laser treatment for acne. There are different kind of machines for different kind of skin upliftment and this and that and all. Going under the knife is something I'm petrified of. That I have never done, even though they called me thunder thighs, this, that, whatever. I have over the years had my kids being extremely fat. I wanted to enjoy my pregnancy. I put on weight. I lost weight when I felt like, and I let myself completely go at that time. But I enjoyed every bit of it. So going under the knife is a scary thing. I feel one should not tamper with your body as much if not needed, because ultimately it's an organism. You can't really. And the kind of cases you hear these days, a lot of mishaps happening. I don't want to say it because I could be legally wrong with what I state. Uh, Nonetheless, like I said, there's modern science for enhancement for everyone today. It's very basic. Today, if you want to, you're getting white hair, you'll want to color your hair, you'll want to color. It's become as simple as that, probably. But yes, going under the knife is a big decision. A surgery ultimately is a surgery.
Of course.
So whatever you say. So that is something I have completely stayed off. And you know it. I mean, you've known me for so many years. You know that. You've seen me lose weight over the years, slowly but steadily. Uh, I'm on intermittent fasting, and it works great for me.
So you
in
were
every
body
way.
shamed a lot during your youth.
You know, my mama. I was always plumpu kid.
No,
That's
but-
why I never thought I'll be in movies.
But
I
as a
was like this
heroine,
fat
did
kid with
you-
oil in my hair and two chotis. And so no one ever thought that I will ever become an actress.
But did it
Because
affect
never-
your mental health when you were body shamed, or any kind of? Did it make you anxious?
It did.
you know?
It did. It did. Because I always knew that I was much taller than the other heroines. I always knew I was broad built. But today I'm very proud of my Punjabi genes. I am not ashamed at all. And even my son is like me. My son is 16 and he's 6 foot 2 inches, and he's like broad built like me. And I say, be proud. You have the rock solid, and heavy bones. So I always used to weigh a lot. But my heroes used to carry me, poor things, used to be like, Ravina, tu kya kha ke aayi aaj? I was like, I can't help it, dude. Maybe I look slimmest, but I've got heavy bones. That's how I am genetically. I can't help it. And I think I'm absolutely fine the way I am. But that time, yes. When you're 16, 17, and you're going through this public humiliation, public scrutiny, imagine for a 17-year-old or an 18-year-old what you go through. At that time, yes, it hurts like hell. But again, you have to have a strong support system around you. And I tell everyone, there's no stronger support system in your lives than your families and your friends. Whatever you're feeling, luckily in India, we never had the concept of psychiatrists and psychologists and stuff. We always had our families. We had joint families. We had sisterhood. We had sisters. We had best friends, who were always there standing up for each other. So reach out. There's no shame in reaching out.
Say something. Romance.
I love romance.
Where did you meet? Where did you meet Anil, and how long was the wooing period? Because all that's a very blur. I remember the marriage in Jaipur.
Anil has now become the most unromantic person I can sit with. Please.
Marriage does that to you.
God.
But how
I
long
want
did you
to
date
rewind
before you
him.
marry?
How long did we date? 2 months.
That's it.
Yeah. It was Chat Mangni Patbya, literally the true Punjabi style. No time waste. I guess we just knew that we're very similar people. Our upbringings were the same. Our morals were the same. The way he took care of his family, the way he loved his parents, and I think that is something which I do judge people with, how they are with other people. Um, whether you go to a restaurant, you see how the person is with people around, how respectful he or she is with people who are serving them, with people who are looking after them, with their elders. And I think that's what won his case, as far as I'm concerned.
And as a husband, over the years, what are
He's been
the
a hands-on father always. I am admitting I did not clean my son's potty. It was too stinky. And by the time I had long nails, so it would all just go in. So Anil has done all the potty cleaning for Ranbir till date. Yeah, Rasha I did because Anil, it was too new. Because
you were
Rasha
never
was our
working?
first.
You were never working when the two kids were born.
No,
around
I,
that time.
I did not work then. Though there were films offered to me. In fact, one of the films, they wanted the protagonist to be pregnant. But I was too fat, yeah. I had put on so much weight. I was eating like gulab jamuns. And Rasha's time, I did everything wrong. I ate everything under the sun that I had deprived myself all those years. You know, I used to be on kurmura and makhana and things like that. Na? So I ate like I had not seen that I came from some really deprived place where I was not getting food. I ate like that. I used to, Anil would be like, you're really eating that much? I was like, yes, I'm going to eat. He'd be like, okay, hormones are talking, stay away.
So, what's the most romantic thing that he's done?
I was shooting, and I was shooting somewhere really in the hills recently. And it was a milestone birthday, and everyone was like, oh, you're not going to be there, this, that, this, that. He gets a lot of car sickness. Okay, yeah, actually, that's the most romantic thing that he's done for me.
Wow.
He does not go upstrokes because he's then sick for 2 days. None of my staff told me, but he had planned and he came up all the way into the hills for that shoot. Okay, and he was sick, poor thing, for 2 days, but he was there with me for that birthday. And I think that's knowing that I'm gonna fall sick, but I'm still gonna be there, I think was the biggest thing that he did for me.
More power to him.
Yeah.
Also, we discussed social media. Recently, there was an incident that happened, which got a lot of eyeballs. And I mean, while you very bravely took up for your driver and helped him from the mob, it created. See, this is what I'm saying. Instant reactions. It created all within a space of one day. How do you react to something like that?
Well, thanks to the timely, quick action by the cops, by the police, there was enough proof. There was CCTV cameras from all over. There were eyewitness accounts, and it all got completely clarified. So that's why I say thanks to the social media that as fast as the allegations came, as fast the clearance happened. Because immediately the cops released all the CCTV footage, including eyewitness accounts, etc. Um, but it all happened so fast that at that time, all you can think of is the safety and the security, A, of the children who are in the house and of the people who have served you for so many years. I'm not going to throw them under the bus, And at that time, you can't think of anything except to stand there and not allow people into your house. This happened outside my house. What the video that you see,
So obviously
I'm
these
standing
people knew
guarding
that-
the gate. I don't know. I cannot comment, as you know that it is now a
Sub
court
judice,
matter.
yeah.
But what I can say is that a lot of people thought, oh, why did you get down on the road? Hello, I did not get down on the road. I have gone up into my house and I have come down because they were entering my house. At that time, Anil was not at home. All you think of is your kids upstairs. And I made my driver run up. I said, tu andar ja. I said, I will control till the cops come, but you go inside. They'd beaten up the watchman. They were baying for my driver's blood for no reason. He was innocent completely. What it was, that the cops will find out and we'll come to know what it was. But it's all under scrutiny now. And all at that time you can think of is the safety and security of your people. And it all happens so fast. Everyone's like, why did you go out? I said, so what? I would have let him get beaten up till the cops came. That was not possible. And when the cops came, they all disappeared. They all disappeared. We had to go, the driver and the maids and all went around identifying them and then finding out where they had come from and stuff. With the cops.
Crazy.
So it's okay. It happens. But yes, sometimes you wonder about the safety of living in cities, and if this can happen, that
To
a mob
somebody
can
like
just
you.
enter into anyone's house. it's trespassing. You can't enter someone's house to drag the driver out. Rasha would have been scared. Rasha was up. And it was we three women standing on that gate, because any man they were laying their hands off, they were hitting. If you see the video, I have pulled my watchman inside. And then one guy sneaked past me from him saying, sorry, you cannot go in. And he went in and he caught the watchman inside and he was beating the second watchman. I said, you cannot hit. You cannot hit. I never said, don't hit me. I was saying, don't hit. Because they were hitting these guys. So that was it. And then luckily, whatever is there for everyone to see, I don't want to comment further on that. But it's a scary situation.
Does it make you feel vulnerable that somebody at your level can just be attacked in broad daylight or whatever?
That's for authorities to see to it that
No, but
citizens are more secure now.
Does that make you feel vulnerable?
No, it does not. Because I knew that my driver was innocent. I knew he was not in the wrong. And I also knew that I am waiting for the cops. Till then, I will try and pacify the situation. And that is what I tried. But it does not make me vulnerable. And maybe thrown in a similar situation where I see something wrong being done, maybe I will speak up and maybe I will stand up. And yes, that probably does land me in trouble at times. But I think I will always step up if I see something wrong happening. Just made that way.
Any of your roles, like I remember being very affected by Shul at one point. But personally, whether it's Daman or Ghulam Mustafa or, what you've done in other, has anything deeply impacted you?
I think when I did this film Matra is when I was shaken the most. I remember crying through my dubbing, even when I was dubbing. I remember not being able to watch what I was dubbing. And that film is now on OTT as well. But that whole Nirbhaya incident just shook me to the core. And especially, after you become a mom, and I'm a mom of 3 girls. And I've always worked for the upliftment of women and, the girl child and women empowerment. And then for something so horrific to happen. And the worst thing is, the kind of justice that happens so late. There needed to be fast tracking. I'm glad, I think in December 2016, then the judgment came out of the juvenile law, where the most horrific perpetrator, the perp who actually did the worst thing that he could to any other human being, was set off scot-free and was tried to be rehabilitated and was given a sewing machine. And in fact, he sold the sewing machine and he's absconding. So where he's committing what kind of crime? Because only a depraved mind can do that to another human being. Right? So for me, that shook me a lot. And when Matra came to me, I was like, this I have to do. I don't care about the box office success. I don't care about anything. Even till today, in fact, just day before yesterday, the ex-municipal commissioner messaged me, Mr. R.A. Rajiv, and told me that I just finished watching Matra and what a performance and what a earth-shattering film. So these are even if this kind of awareness is, one by one also if someone sees and whatever happens with it, I know that I've done a film that I mean it from my heart.
It's tough.
It's heinous.
Yeah. What advice would you give a 20-year-old Raveena?
I'm still giving myself advice. Forget 20-year-old. I'm still in intro. When I introspect things, I'm like, should I have done this? Should I have not done that? Should I have done this? Should I have not, stood there? Shouldn't I have? That these 10 things that go in your mind that you've put yourself on the line. But then I reverse and I ask myself the same questions that would you have been okay if Jay today would have been in hospital beaten black and blue because those guys had disappeared by the time the cops came. So either it was a money issue or whatever it was, for whatever the reason. Would I have felt better with that? I definitely wouldn't have. I would have felt worse. That why couldn't I have prevented it? So for me, yeah, I keep advising myself every time, but most of the time it doesn't work.
So we have I'm at the fag end of my interview. We also have an audience round. We have an audience here who is very keen to ask you some questions. So shall we take a few questions from them?
Sure.
Hi Ravina.
Ji.
What is the best thing a man has ever done for you?
Contribute in giving me two beautiful children. Thanks. I always thank him for his contribution. I didn't have to go shopping. Nowadays, Baba, surrogacy and this and that, so much is there, you know.
Yeah.
Hi. Have you ever like shared your accessories or your clothes with any of your co-stars, and who did you share with?
Not with my co-stars, but I remember Akshay and I did one song in Goa, Dawa. It's a very popular song, Dil Mein Hai Tu.
Yeah.
And I actually went to the Goa flea market to shop, and I accessorized his look and accessorized my look and made braids, you know, in his hair and stuff. And we put, you know, we just got our looks together. That was those simpler times, not having 10 stylists styling you these days.
You're shooting again with Akshay. Have
For
you,
Welcome 3.
Have you like? How does it feel now? So much water has flown under the bridge.
I think everyone's friends and everyone's good and everyone's happy in their own space. You know, I would understand if people were unhappy and stuff. Everyone's happy in their own space, and we're all friends, and we have, you know, such a bonding for so many years. And not only him, whether it's Sunil, whether it's Sanju, whether it's Sunny, it's great to work with all of them again. I've just finished a film called Gurchari with Sanju, which is a comedy, and it was so much fun to do it, and it's a romantic comedy. So Sanju and me sitting and talking. Did you imagine when we would be in our 50s, we'd be doing a romantic comedy? I was like, no, I didn't imagine that, but that's how it is, and we're just enjoying it completely.
What's the toughest thing you faced while raising your kids?
Actually, I didn't. It was quite a piece of cake. Yes, a little bit of rebellion from my eldest one, and a little bit of rebellion, just a tiny bit of rebellion from Rasha when she reached that little age. But otherwise, it's been a piece of cake. I don't know. They're more my friends than anything. And having daughters, I think, is amazing. But my son, I think, because he's literally raised by three sisters, is also one of the most compassionate, sensitive, and caring persons, which I thought boys are never. But he just has to look into my eyes and he'll come and squeeze my hand, and I know I'm all right. Yeah, that's all. Yeah.
Was there a time where you really lost your cool, your patience on some co-star?
I've never really had fights with any of my co-stars. They're all my buddies and best friends till date, whether it's Sanju, Sunil, Sunny, or even Akshay now, or anyone that I've worked with. Even Nana. Nana, someone who people would always be scared of. Even now, he was the first person to reach when my dad passed away. I mean, you know, these are things you never forget. So I've had a great rapport with all my co-stars, and I, touch wood, hoping to continue to do so.
So, I mean, when men age, they're called silver fox and whatnot. And when women age, they're called cougars or whatever. Do you think times are changing, and how do we make sure they
I
do?
think now maybe they're becoming too politically correct also, because it's reaching a point. I mean, there were times, you know, innocent times that we had when we used to all make jokes on each other, and you know, I'm a half Sindhi, half Punjabi, so I've had a lot of Sindhi jokes on me, a lot of Punjabi jokes on me, a lot of Sardar jokes on me, and we used to laugh it off. But today, people are becoming a little extra sensitive. But yes, that political correctness is definitely coming in, and I think again, an extreme of anything, be it politics, be it religion, be it politically correctness, be it technology, an extreme of everything is bad. When done moderately and done sensibly, then of course it's most welcome.
So thank you for this wonderful
I
conversation.
know,
It's
I
been
know.
really wonderful
So
seeing
lovely.
you again after years.
And thank you for just being you always and all
Thank
these
you.
years.
Thank you.
I love you.
I love you too.
Do we now kiss and say I do? Now you may kiss the bride. Here you go.